What's going on, everybody? Don here. And now that we are through the pre-release weekend, where there's product out in the market for Destined Rivals, we're seeing English card selling on eBay. And I wanted to go back and address the analysis. I think I did this like a month ago, and a lot of the mid-20-year-old unemployed YouTubers laughed at it because they just quite honestly have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So we're going to walk through the pricing, and generally speaking, the English pricing is about 2 to 1 to the Japanese pricing. Some are higher, some are lower, but that's what it blends out to, and that's kind of what it's always blended out to. So, Team Rocket Mewtwo, yes, they are. This is the chase card. It's going to be a $500 to $600 card. I don't really care what anybody says. Um, you know, my projection a month and a half ago was $400. Every sale except for the most recent has been over $850. It's at $850 now, so this kind of puts it right in line to be $500 to $600. My $400 price point's a little conservative, but that's fine. Cynthia Garchomp, I think there was only one or two that have sold. Right now it's $350. It looks like this is going to be a little bit lower. For whatever reason, the Japanese version was selling for quite a bit more, which is a little weird. Ethan's Ho-Oh, $325. I'm right around $300. Ultimately, this card probably settles in the $250 range. The Moltres right now selling for $300. There have been actually a lot of these that have sold. There were two that sold for $125, and it looks like one or two. It's two listings with the same picture. I don't know if they're scams or if the seller just doesn't know what they're doing. It's an outlier, so I kind of threw that out. Nidoking, I have at $80. It's selling for $250, which is kind of weird. It's going to come down. Crobat, $110. Right now it's selling at $230. The gold Mewtwo is selling like crazy. $140 and up. It's going to settle probably somewhere north of the $62 I had it projected at. And then Ethan's Adventure, this one's at $100. This is going to be probably lower than where I'm at. It's one of those cards that just doesn't translate well into the English world liking it. So as of right now, and again, this is gonna come down. It's at $2,500 of total value. That's only these cards. That's not the rest of the set. The rest of the set's probably another $600-700. I didn't look. Quite honestly, I don't care because my point is pretty easily made here. I think my original forecast is going to be right on the money. And again, you look at the box multipliers for the set value versus the box price, and Surging Sparks is the lowest by far in the Scarlet and Violet era. I didn't refresh this because obviously the singles have come down, the box prices come down because we've got a couple different reprints here. But the price of or the value of the cards in the set are going to support a $300 plus price point on the boxes. So as things come out right now, as long as you're buying and you're selling, and you're not buying to sit on the boxes, you're probably fine. A year from now, are these boxes at $250, $300? Probably not. They're probably down a little bit, just because they're going to print more. But the price point right now, in my view, it's actually a fairly sizable discount to what the value of the cards are in the box. So there's a little bit of an imbalance between, and this is a really bizarre thing to say, between the price of the box because there's so much demand coming on the market and the value of the cards in the set. And I think a lot of people that are paying, $250, $260 plus tax, by the way. So all you jackoffs who, just ignore tax, tax is actually a thing. So, on a $250, a $250 box, 6% is, not a rounding error. There's just value in the cards in the box, and it is what it is. But again, folks paying that much money, they're probably not going to open them, which means the singles are going to stay propped up because there's not that much supply. Now you're going to get into the the chop shop of rip and ships and stuff like that, and they're going to get open, they're going to get put out here. It's going to be a race to zero because people who buy in rip and ships aren't the most sophisticated folks in the world. But it's going to be interesting. The number of the gross dollars and dollar volume of sales is kind of at a high, but the actual number of items selling is not anywhere close because obviously the unit price is high. So it's going to be super interesting to see what happens here. And look, Journey Together, everybody said it tanked. It's still $200 a box. That's 212 with tax for the people that suck at math. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, again, there's probably a little bit of downside from here on the boxes. Um, it's probably value versus where or it's probably cheap versus where the value cards are. But, again, we'll see. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord. The facts are the facts. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you say. Math is math. And, you can just shout until you're blue in the face, but nobody gives a fuck.